One of the guys that you probably saw getting terrible coverage, getting blown out of the water, was Jermaine Whitehead. And he responded to criticism on Twitter while still in uniform in the locker room with a series of profanity-laced and threatening tweets. His account was suspended, the first tweet in a series of many in response to ESPN college football analyst Dustin Fox. Second tweet we're going to show you was a response to another account in which Whitehead threatened to kill the user. He used racial slurs. We say all that to say at the time they condemned the social media posts, and they said this matter will be further addressed internally. They have since moved on from Whitehead. He's been released.
That was what I meant when I said there was news just in the last half hour. They've released Whitehead. And look, there's two separate pieces of this. I want to talk about the team and the game and all of that. But when you see him going off on social media after a game, you had an interesting thought.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt like what a soft move, right? Like, he responded to a tweet from someone that talked about the blown coverage. It was blown coverage. It was awful. They didn't tackle, and they looked terrible. He admitted that he had an awful game, but for you to lose it, I would like for you to peruse the Twitter timelines or Instagram timelines of any woman that is on television that has the unmitigated gall to do things like pick one side versus another in a game and see the kind of things that we have to deal with and the kind of things people say to us. You got fired because you couldn't handle someone saying what was quite obvious, that your coverage sucked. And it is such an incredibly soft move. Grow up, woman up.
Ooh, ooh. That's well said. Now let's spin it. Right, so the period, new paragraph. Now let's spin it to what this means about the team. Because you had Odell Beckham, who apparently coming off the field said, I can't get a ball thrown to me. He's tried to hold it together all year long. Is this an indication, or in any way, do we think this is a team right now, Pat, that is falling apart at the seams?
Yeah, I think that's an indication of a peek inside the locker room. Yes, Odell Beckham has handled this incredibly professionally. I think that is something that should be taken away from this Browns disaster that has been this year that more people should talk about. Odell Beckham has handled not being a target, not being a threat, and being on a losing team that stinks in a very mature manner. But this type of situation with Whitehead, there's obviously a lot of frustrations inside the locker room, and there should be. You go back week after week, there's terrible decisions being made by your head coach. When your head coach is not putting you in positions to win games, you can get frustrated, because in high school football, whenever the head coach speaks, you go, oh, that guy knows football better than I do, I'm going to listen to it. In college, same type of thing. But in the NFL, you're more so peers. We all have good football IQs. We're all getting paid a lot of money to do this, and whenever the guy that's sitting at the top of the tower, when the man that is making all the decisions for the offense is just doing it in a terrible fashion week in, week out, you would think at some point everybody's going to explode. A couple people on Twitter got the raw end of it there from Whitehead, but I would assume the rest of the team is starting to do it. And this is when they say that the head coach has lost the locker room.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I agree with everything you said right there. I will say this. The Browns finally did something right. Get rid of that guy off your team. I mean, there's no place for that. It's ridiculous. Now, with that being said, there's other moves that need to be made.
For example?
And Freddie Kitchens, and you know, he says he's not going to get fired. You're right. You're not going to get fired right now. But at the end of the year, oh, yes, you are.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.